Quick tip video number 2, the importance of cleaning and custom colors. Okay, so this is just a little quick tip video here. This is a beautiful, of course, leather cushion from a high quality couch. Of course, it's probably around 10 to 15 years old, and you can see there's a lot of wear and cracking in the finish. Okay, so basically you clean this up, you apply, of course, a coat of our dye onto the areas here that aren't so worn, but in the areas that are worn, you can dab on our dyes, maybe 3 or 4 coats. The more coats of dye that you put on these high wear areas, the longer, of course, it's going to last. We have lots of videos on YouTube that show you how to do that, but with this particular video, I just want to, again, just remind you of the importance of cleaning the leather properly, okay? So, with this particular color, we did a custom color mix. This, of course, is our large leather dye repair kit. Comes with the large 8-ounce cleaner. Comes with the large bottle of leather dye, 8 ounces. Of course, in a custom color, the color of the leather underneath. I'll show you that in a minute. And of course the leather sealer, which is the clear protective top coat that guards against all forms of wear and fade and cleaning and everything like that. That's your protective top coat right here, okay? So again, in the kit you get the cleaning cloth and you get the sponges, you get everything that you need to restore the finish on leather, okay? If you have any rips, cracks, or tears, of course, then you need to add on a filler kit, which just happens to be right here. This is our small leather repair filler kit. It comes in a 1 ounce, or it can come, of course, in a 2 ounce, a larger bottle, if container, if you so needed that. Okay. So what we did here, of course, is we did a custom color mix, and the way we create a custom color is by looking at an area of the couch or of the car seat or whatever we're talking about, leather, the original unfaded, untouched, unsoiled color of the leather, okay? So when we mix this color and we would apply it to here, it would be the wrong color, because this is all soiled. This is ingrained soiled, or if you look at it, see how it's really, really shiny? What happens is when you use these different or other leather products that have creams, cleaners, and creams and fat liquors and waxes in them, what happens is you wipe it on, your leather looks great, but what happens is it attracts more and more dirt. So you get this shiny, see how shiny the patina is? And rather than the leather bending and flexing, it starts to hinge in certain areas and it cracks open. That's where you get this cracking from. See that cracking? That's where that comes from, okay? It's from cleaning the leather per se, but you're leaving a film on it which actually stiffens it in the long run, okay? That's why we don't really recommend waxes or oils or conditioners. We only recommend it to people in Arizona or really dry environments where they just literally do not have any choices or options. Their leather is in an extreme environment. It's drying out, and you want to replace the moisture back into the leather with some type of oil, okay, or fat liquor, okay? But there's trade-offs to that as well. One of the trade-offs being is, of course, the oils lay on the surface and attract more and more dirt. So now that being said, as you can see over here, see that right there? You're probably thinking we put the brand new dye there, and you know what? That's what it would look like if we were to apply the dye over top of this surface. So if you get a custom color from us, of course, you're going to send us a little piece of this leather. You can get in here, you can get into the back. See the cushion right here? There's a zipper on it, hidden. There's a zipper right there. You can open that up, and if you look here, see where the zipper is? See right here? There's always a little lip on the seam of the zipper, and you can cut a little piece of that. See how there's a good amount there? Or if you hunt inside here, you'll find more. See inside here? There's see right there? See this? You can cut a little piece off on this, or multiple pieces, and you can mail that to us, and we can make a custom color. But we're going to make a custom color of the brand new, untouched, unsoiled, unfaded, unworn color. Because if we were to mix a color like this, what would happen if it's dirtier here than it is over here? Or it's more faded here than it is over here? We're going to mix a dirty, faded, worn color. So you're going to apply the dirty, faded, worn color and it's going to match here, but it may not match over there. Anyways, when you're mixing colors, you don't mix to the dirty, faded, worn, soiled color. You mix it to the original, unfaded, untouched sort of color. Okay, that's just the way it's done. So when if you weren't, like, if you didn't clean this properly, you'd apply the dye and it would look like that. But what we've done is we've just cleaned this with our cleaner. This is our cleaning and protection kit. It's extremely underrated. Okay, for the fact is that if you use the cleaner and you get the couch this clean, you can effectively apply the protector onto a sponge, wipe it on top of here, and it'll look fantastic. You don't actually need a dye product all the time. The only time you need a dye product is if you have wear in the finish like this, if you have extreme fading, or of course if you have ingrained stains that will not be removed, or you cannot remove them with the cleaner. That means they're ingrained within the finish. Or if you have a crack, rip, or tear, you're going to fill it with the filler, which dries white, and of course you need a dye product to hide the filler, okay? But in this case, it's done an absolutely beautiful job right here just by cleaning it. And if we apply a protective top coat on that, you're going to get the shine back. Because if you look, see how after cleaning it, see in that area, it doesn't really have a shine? Because dirt or patina, when you sit on it and you buff the waxes and the oils, they create a shine, okay? So right there, see where it's clean? There's no real shine. It's more of like a matte or a satin matte finish. So if you wanted that shine back, you would basically spray the protector onto a sponge and just wipe on a glistening coat of the protector, let that dry, and it's going to look fantastic. So again, the reason why we made this video is because sometimes, not very often, a customer would receive a custom color of ours, and what we do is we mix the original unfaded, untouched, unsoiled, unworn color, and we put it in a bottle like that. See right here? That's the color. We custom color mixed it, and they do a very poor job, or they don't. Some people, they don't read directions. When you apply a dye product or you do anything, you got to make sure you're dealing with a clean, dry surface. So they don't do that, and they apply a little bit of dye and it looks like that, and they say, oh, it's the wrong color. It's too light. Well, when you're talking about new is brighter and lighter when it comes to a lighter colored leather. Same thing with black. Black is deeper and darker when it's new, because when black fades or it starts to wear, it starts to look milky and a little bit lighter. And when you put on that brand new black dye, it's going to look beautifully dark, rich, luxurious black. That's the way it's going to be. So what I'll do here for you is we have, of course, some in-shop cleaner. It says shop. We're going to get our cleaning cloth, and we're just going to show you. With this type of soil, what we would recommend is just apply a little bit of cleaner onto the cloth. You can wipe it down like that, but that's for wet dusting. But if you want to actually clean an area, you would just apply the cleaner onto the surface just like this, and you would wait about 10 seconds or so, and you would just basically get the cloth that's a little bit wet, and you would gently sort of gently emulsify all that dirt and that soil and that wax and everything that was on the surface from years and years of applying different colored or different leather products that all have oils or waxes in. So here it is right here. See? And you'll see that it kind of looks bluish. And the reason why it looks bluish is because a lot of people like to wear jeans and denim on leather. So what happens is it deposits, along with the oils and the waxes and the fat liquors, it deposits all that dye transfer from the denim. If this is a white couch, it would look a mess, but since of course it's sort of like a dark beige or a taupe color, a very close color of this would be our dark beige B, but again, if you want a sort of a perfect match and stuff like that, it's always good to go with a custom color, but the majority of our colors match about 90% of all the leather out there. So you can go through our color chart, check it out, and of course order a color, apply it. If it doesn't match or if you're not happy with it, no big deal. You can make it wet, wipe it away, and then of course send us a little swatch, mail it to us, we custom mix the color, bingo bango, you got yourself a perfect color. But again, it's so important to clean it. And as you can see here, we left a clean spot. Well, that was just sort of the first pass, okay? If you really want to clean something, you don't clean it once, you clean it like a couple times. So we got this much dirt out of the first time. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to make it a little bit, put a little bit more cleaner on it. And again, when you have ingrained soil or if you have a lot of buildup or patina, you spray the cleaner directly on that patina to loosen it up, okay? If your couch isn't that dirty, or if you just want to do maintenance, like with this kit right here, this is our large cleaning and protection kit. You would use the, after this couch has all been cleaned and protected and dyed and everything, the way you would take care of it is you would get our large cleaner and our protector, you would spray the cleaner on the cloth, just wet dust it once every 3 to 4 weeks, let it dry, and then you would continuously do that, you know, every 4 to 6 weeks depending on the amount of soil and wear you put on it. And at the course of every season, like every 8 to 12 months, you would clean it, let it dry, spray the protector on a sponge, and wipe on a brand new protective top coat that's going to dry and cure overnight, and then you're fully and completely protected again for another year, because this takes all the abuse over the course of a year. It takes all the wear from your body, it takes all the cleaning from wiping down the couch and everything like that. So this is your protective top coat here. This is our cleaning and protection kit. You can use it on boots, shoes, purses, car interior, leather luggage, purses, anything leather, okay? Fantastic value. So let me get back to this over here. We're going to do our second pass of cleaning. Okay. And you can see it took off maybe another, I don't know, 10%. That's about 90% all in one pass, and this is another 10%. So this area here is clean enough to apply a protective top coat on it, or it's clean enough to apply the dye product, okay? So if you were to clean this whole cushion, again, what we would recommend is in the area of abuse and wear, apply 2 or 3 or 4 coats, okay? Because the more coats you put on it, the longer it's going to last. If you were just to put 1 coat on this whole cushion, it would look fantastic, it would look beautiful, it would look brand new. However, 1 coat of dye isn't going to last as long as 3 or 4 coats of dye. So if you were to put, always do the worst areas first. So about 3 or 4 coats of dye into these areas, because this gets the most abuse, and then you could wipe 1 coat of dye into this area, let it dry, make it look pretty, let it dry overnight, and then of course all you need to do is spray your protective sealer onto a sponge. This is like a clear leather dye, clear protective leather dye. You spray that on a sponge and just gently wipe on a brand new protective top coat, and of course it's going to look fantastic. So again, this video was basically, you know, primarily made to show you the performance and the value of properly cleaning your leather. And also, let's say we didn't do a very good job cleaning this cushion. Let's say we just did a terrible job cleaning. We just used a little bit of cleaner and we hardly did anything. You're going to need more dye product to actually wipe over the cushion to cover over the ingrained stains and the soil that you missed on the cleaning process. So in other words, that means if you do a really good job cleaning the leather, you're going to use less dye. Okay, you're going to use less dye. If you leave this soiled and sort of ingrained and filthy and you didn't do a very good job cleaning it, you're going to need more dye because you're going to have to cover over this. You're going to have to use the dye to cover over the soil that you didn't clean in the first place. So again, a little tip is if you can get it good and clean, just like this, very easily with our cleaner. Our cleaner is designed specifically for leather finishes, so it doesn't damage the leather finish. Like let's say you have a new couch or a new car, it's not going to damage that protective top coat, and it's going to effectively clean the leather. That's it. No oils or waxes. We don't do that, because when you apply an oil or a wax in a cleaner, you're cleaning it, and now you're leaving a little bit of oil or wax onto the surface, which is going to make you use more cleaner because it's going to get dirtier faster. If you've noticed, if you've ever had someone come to your house to clean your carpets, let's say you had light white or really white carpets or whatever, when you first got those carpets, they lasted like 5 years or 7 or maybe close to 10 years if you really took care of them. And now you're going to get the carpets cleaned. Well, guess what? You're going to get the carpets cleaned. They're going to look good, but guess what? They're going to be filthy dirty in a year or two. You know why? Because they use a surfactant or a soap or something within the cleaning process, and when they go through and they extract everything, they extract maybe 90%. Well, then there's 10% residual soap left in the fibers of the carpet, and it's going to attract more and more dirt, and it's going to get dirtier faster. So really, if someone were to clean your carpets, they would really need to extract all that soap and everything out of those carpets maybe 3 or 4 or 5 times to get it to the 98 or 99 percentile level. There's still going to be 1 to 2% soap residue in the fibers, and you know, I mean, of course, if there was only 1 or 2%, it's probably going to last another 3 or 4 or 5 years before it's really dirty. But it's never going to be exactly the way it was when it was new, because the way they make those fibers and the different protective the different protection that they put in the fibers of the carpet are not sticky. Same thing with our cleaner. Doesn't leave a protective, or it doesn't leave any oils or waxes, and the protective top coat, when you apply it on here, it dries and it cures, and it's not sticky. So it's going to, so your couch is always going to look new, and it's always going to look clean, is if you're continuously gently cleaning it with our cleaner and you're applying a protective top coat, which is our leather protector, every season. So hopefully this this video had a little bit of insight and help for you. That's what we do. That's what we're known for. We're leather refinishing specialists, and you can find this and many more products, of course, on our website at fixyourleather.com. Hope you enjoyed the video.
If you have enjoyed our video, please like, subscribe, or even share with your friends.